I've played my fair share of anime MMOs back in my day. I played Grand Fantasia, Our Kingdom, Eden Eternal, and heck, even Dragon Raja. But I've never played a game quite like this. Enter Genshin Impact, the recently released anime RPG that has taken the world by storm. And with good reason too. In this video, I'm going to tell you why Dora would love this game, and why you would love it too. First, I'm going to tell you how the game sorta works. The first thing you need to know is that almost every action in the game requires stamina, indicated by the yellow bar next to your character. Running, swimming, climbing, and of course, gliding. Running out of stamina while swimming can cause you to drown, while running out of stamina while climbing or gliding will cause you to fall. Combat in Genshin Impact is pretty simple. You have your normal attacks, you have the charged attacks, elemental attacks, the dive attacks, and finally, the elemental burst. In the world of Genshin Impact, there are elements known as visions that you'll use to aid you in your journey. The game provides you with 4 elements: Anemo, Pyro, Electro, and Cryo. There are other elements such as Geo and Hydro, but you can get them later as you progress. Now, I mentioned earlier that the game's combat was pretty simple. Allow me to reiterate. Elements in this game react with one another. For instance, Pyro interacting with Electro will cause an overload. Utilizing these reactions will help you to collect items, activate totems, and more importantly, deal extra damage to enemies. With all of that said and done, let's get into what I think makes this game so fun. There's a lot to do in Genshin Impact, and it all revolves around exploration. You can hunt, you can mine, you can forage, and my favorite, treasure hunting. Treasures can be found almost everywhere and anywhere in this game, and that's probably why it's so much fun. For me at least. In addition to chests, there are also these things called oculi which you can collect to upgrade your statues. Statues that can reveal portions of the map, act as a teleporter, and a way to increase stamina among other rewards. Speaking of statues and teleports, the world of Genshin Impact utilizes fast travel. Teleport nodes, temples, domains, and statues can all be teleported to once activated. Okay, so you've collected materials from the activities mentioned earlier. Now what? Well, for starters, you can cook. The food you make have various effects. Some can heal you, restore stamina, provide buffs, and so on. Each dish requires different resources, all of which can either be found in the wild, shops, and/or processed. There are a lot of dishes to be made. Your recipes can be obtained from quests, shops, and even by just talking to random NPCs. Mined resources can be turned into weapon enhancement materials and even weapons later down the line, via the blacksmith. The other major thing you can do with your resources gathered is alchemy. Alchemy allows you to craft potions for buffs, as well as essential materials needed to ascend your characters. And boy, are there a lot of things to craft. Just like any traditional RPG, Genshin Impact has quests which allow you to progress the story, provide character backgrounds, and flesh out its world and lore. Quests are divided into 3 types: Archon quests, which are the main story quests, which introduces you to playable characters, and the world quests, which can be obtained through talking to certain NPCs scattered across the map. One thing to note is that doing quests are not forced upon you. You can tackle them whenever you want. In this clip, I originally meant to head over to the orange marker on the minimap. However, I ended up getting distracted by treasure, an oculus, and some boards to name a few. It took me a few good minutes to finally remember what I was doing though. One thing you guys should know though is that some Archon quests prevent you from doing multiplayer until finished, so keep that in mind before partaking in one. You'll also may have noticed the pedestal with a red sword stuck in it. These are challenges, and they can range from time trials to elimination trials. They're easy to do, but some may actually prove to be a challenge. Go ahead and try them out when you see one. They'll provide a bit of spice and treasure once you've completed. In addition to the bosses encountered in quests, there are also elite monsters and world bosses for you to tackle. Some of them have hourly cooldowns, while others have a daily or even weekly cooldown. In the real world, there's a saying that the bigger they are, the harder they fall. But in this game, bigger is definitely better. We finally arrived at the final topic, multiplayer.
Oh man.
Oh.
Although Genshin Impact may look like an MMORPG, it really isn't. Let me explain. Players can accompany you in the maze and help you hunt elite monsters and world bosses, but they cannot help you with Archon quest bosses. All shops are closed when there are multiple players in the world, with the exception of shops that sell food and recipes. Additionally, loot is not shared when picked up from the world. When a player picks up loot, only that player receives it, an exception to Mora, which is the game's currency. There are many other things you can and cannot do in multiplayer. You can easily search it up in Google. If you'd like, feel free to leave a comment with a specific question, and I'll answer the best I can. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I think that... What? You're saying I forgot something? Right. Gotcha. Haha, get it? Gotcha. This is where you roll for other characters and weapons. I'm not gonna get too much into detail, but yeah, it's there. To the game's credit, the game provides you with lots of ways to earn rolls. So, there's that. So yeah, this time, this is definitely the end. I wasn't able to talk about everything about the game, and I did leave some things out. But hey, there's just more for you to discover that way. The game is no joke, pretty fun. I personally spent about 30 minutes as soon as I got on exploring and picking up whatever I could find. If this video helped you to find whatever to further along your decision to play the game, that's great. And if it didn't, I'm sorry. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe to the comment section and comment on that like bell. Sige po, paalam!